Tonight on Trojan Vision News, one Troy resident shares how the government shutdown is affecting her SNAP benefits. More on that coming up.
The Trump administration will partially fund SNAP benefits after a funding lapse during the government shutdown. I'm Erica Brown with more from Capitol Hill on the ongoing political standoff.
And Troy's Greek organizations come together to aid those facing food insecurity. Stay tuned. Trojan Vision News starts right now.
From Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network Earl Hutto studio, this is Trojan Vision News.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Vision News for November 3rd. I'm Laura Stokely.
And I'm Ty Davidson. Thank you for joining us. Looking at our top story tonight, it is now day 34 of the government shutdown, and it is unclear whether millions of Americans will receive their SNAP benefits.
One mother in Pike County spoke with Trojan Vision who finds herself in a difficult situation.
I'm nervous. I have 3 kids. I have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 7-month-old.
Meet Madeline Gillis, a mother of 3 who just lost her SNAP benefits. Trojan Vision met with Gillis at the Troy Resilience Project. Despite working a full-time job, Gillis fears she will not be able to feed her 7-month-old daughter.
I'm worried that I'm going to run out of formula. Usually I buy a can with my SNAP card if I run out of that because she eats a lot. And I go to Walmart and get the cheaper can and it's still like 30 or 40 bucks. And I'm worried if I'm going to be able to pay the bills this month and get food.
Even though Gillis says she's worried, she doesn't want her children to be.
I'm trying not to tell them because I don't want them to worry, and I'm not even telling them. I'm kind of just telling them we can't afford that right now, or maybe we'll get it next time, or they don't understand, and I don't want them to know what's happening right now.
Despite the hard times, Gillis trusts that her community won't let her family go hungry.
I'm glad that TRP is open. I'm glad that they have food pantries. And the people in Pike County they're pulled together like a community, you know. So I'm nervous, but I know that my neighbor will not let us go hungry.
For now, Gillis is doing what she can to keep food on the table, while waiting to see if her benefits will be restored. Simon Brown, Trojan Vision News.
The Troy Resilience Project is for Monday through Friday.
Viewers can drop off donations at 401 South Brundage Street, Troy.
Now, similar efforts are being made on campus to address food insecurity. Homecoming week has come and gone at Troy University, but a philanthropic homecoming competition last Thursday has taken a greater meaning amidst this government shutdown. Here's how a Wicked-themed castle building competition turned out to be quite the opposite. With the government shutdown just 2 days away from breaking the record of the longest shutdown in U.S. history, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program or SNAP benefits are at risk. At Troy University, the fraternities and sororities held the Can Castle food drive for a fun homecoming week competition, but it comes at a perfect time to help those who are at even greater risk of going hungry.
You hear food insecurity thrown around a lot, but you don't really grasp what the significance is. But with the government shutdown, we're able to tangibly see that and see where it's impacting people. So it kind of gives us a little bit of a heart posture change, and we're able to go into this with a service mindset that we're actually seeing it benefit more people. In
the event, sororities and fraternities used donated canned goods to see who could build the best castles. The food was then donated to the Trojan Pantry, a university resource located in Trojan Village 200 that gives students and families facing food insecurity access to free, shelf-stable foods.
Our college students need our help, and this is a way for us to give back and help them specifically. And so it's really cool because these organizations can all come together and work for one common goal, whereas it's a week where we're competing against each other, but we're all working together to help out this group of people who really needs us.
TUPD's Sergeant Rachel Farmer pointed out that while right now is a time of extra need, food insecurity is a constant concern, and donations are always needed.
In a time where things are about to get cut off, you never know when someone's going to be in need, even if you're not in that. So every single donation counts always, but with things changing a little bit, you know, this event is obviously going to make a big difference.
Now, it was announced on Saturday at the homecoming game against Arkansas State that Farmhouse and Chi Omega won this year's contest. The Trojan Pantry is undergoing further efforts to aid students facing food struggles.
The Trojan Pantry is extending its hours to help students who may be affected by the suspension of the SNAP program. Trojan Pantry provides free non-perishable food items, personal hygiene products, and other basic necessities to Troy University students. Trojan Pantry's extended hours are there on your screen. The Trojan Pantry is located in Trojan Village 200. Other resources include St. Martin's of Tours Catholic Church, the Salvation Army, Troy Resilience Project, and St. Martin's Episcopal Church. For more information about Trojan Pantry's services or to donate, visit our website.
Now, staying with local news, a Troy bakery owner will be featured tonight on the Food Network. Gina Barnes, owner of B Sweet Dessert Boutique, will be featured on this season of the Holiday Baking Championship. The show, which is in its 12th season, selects bakers from across the country to compete for a $25,000 prize. During tonight's episode, the 12 bakers will be split into two teams, Naughty and Nice. The Naughty team, which includes Barnes, will be tasked with baking frosty treats, while the Nice team will bake warm and toasty desserts. Tonight's episode will air at 7 o'clock Central Time. Be Sweet, by the way, is located on the downtown Troy Square. Now, let's take a step outside with weather anchor Simon Brown. Simon, how's it looking?
Yeah, guys, right now it is 65 degrees. It is clear, and if you take a look at our quad, you can see those shadows are slowly creeping over to JRL. As you know, it is now daylight saving season, but I will have more weather for y'all later in the broadcast. Back to you guys.
In state news, Huntsville police are assisting Alabama A&M University in an investigation regarding a reported gunshot on campus.
The investigation comes after the university posted an alert to X earlier today that they were aware of an emergency situation near the university's Child Development Center.
Law enforcement officials say all signs point to a self-inflicted gunshot wound or a suicide, and the immediate concern has been addressed.
There is no longer an immediate threat on Alabama A&M's campus. However, officials are asking to refrain from the area until further notice.
Staying in state news, a Jefferson County teen has been charged in the summer pickup truck crash that killed 2 friends and injured 5 others.
That's right, Ty. 19-year-old Camden Ryan Willis is charged with 2 counts of reckless murder with extreme indifference to human life.
Willis killed 18-year-old Trellin Floyd and 19-year-old Tristan Cox when he was speeding up and driving under the influence earlier in July.
Willis and 5 females ages 16 to 19 were rushed to UAB hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Floyd and Cox were pronounced dead at the scene.
Jail records show Willis was booked into the Jefferson County Jail last Friday. Now, moving over to national news, the Trump administration said this afternoon that SNAP benefits will be partially funded after 2 judges ruled on Friday that the food assistance payments must continue despite the government shutdown.
Erica Brown has the latest from Capitol Hill, where the Senate has reconvened but has no votes scheduled to end the impasse.
The Trump administration said Monday it will use a contingency fund to partially pay out SNAP benefits this month after rulings from 2 federal judges.
It cost over $9 billion to fund SNAP for a month, and we only have, I think it's $5.2 billion in the contingency fund. So you have a big shortfall.
The ongoing government shutdown caused a funding lapse, affecting more than 40 million Americans who rely on the food assistance program, including cancer patient Michelle Lockhart.
It's not just myself, it's others in the community, others like me, people that are no longer able to work, and without the SNAP benefits, we're unable to put food on the table.
The deadlock is also causing major disruptions at airports across the country.
What can you do about it? We're just in a spot where we have to wait.
Here on Capitol Hill, the Senate reconvened Monday, but there are few signs of progress to end the stalemate as Democrats continue to hold out for extensions to Affordable Care Act subsidies.
I'm not going to do it by being extorted by the Democrats who have lost their way.
In a 60 Minutes interview with Norah O'Donnell, President Trump made it clear he won't negotiate with Democrats until after the government reopens.
Your plan is to tell the Democrats to vote to end the shutdown.
Correct, very simple.
And that you will put forward a health care plan?
No, we will work on fixing the bad health care that we have. Right now, we have terrible health care at too expensive for the people.
The shutdown is expected to become the longest ever Tuesday night. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Election Day is just hours away, and across the country, candidates are in a last-minute push for votes.
Closely watched races in New York, New Jersey, and Virginia will signal whether political parties are headed leading up to next year's midterms. Bradley Blackburn has us tracking the latest.
In New York City today, the race for mayor barreled toward the finish line. Frontrunner Zoran Mamdani, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Republican Curtis Sliwa crisscrossed the city.
They cannot compare their experience of the subways with me.
The battle between the 34-year-old primary winner, a Democratic socialist, and the establishment Democrat running as an independent is drawing national attention for what it may signal about the direction of the party. On Sunday's 60 Minutes, President Trump weighed in, calling Mamdani a communist.
If it's going to be between a bad Democrat and a communist, I'm going to pick the bad Democrat all the time, to be honest with you.
The race is clearly firing up New Yorkers. Over 700,000 cast ballots in early voting. That's more than triple early voting in the last mayoral election. Over the weekend, former President Barack Obama campaigned for Democrats in the Virginia and New Jersey governor's races.
On her first day as governor, Mikey will declare a state of emergency to bring costs down.
Mikey Sherrill is in a very tight race with Republican Jack Ciattarelli, who's working to distance his argument from national politics.
Donald Trump has nothing to do with our property taxes, nothing to do with our monthly electric bills, public safety, public education, overdevelopment.
In California, canvassers on both sides are hitting the streets for a ballot measure, Prop 50, that would redraw congressional districts.
What we're finding, or me personally, is that people are undecided.
If it passes, it could help put more Democrats in the House in next year's midterms. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Across the country, more cases and deaths have been linked to a Listeria outbreak in prepared pasta meals sold at major retailers.
CBS's Gwen Baumgartner has the details.
A warning from the nation's top health agencies. Check your refrigerator and freezer for a number of different pasta meals. They may be contaminated with Listeria. Products include Trader Joe's Cajun-style blackened chicken breast fettuccine Alfredo, Sprouts Farmers Market's smoked mozzarella pasta salad, and Scott & John's shrimp scampi with linguine bowls. The FDA's website has full details. All have been recalled from stores, including Walmart, Safeway, and Kroger's, though most had Best By dates that have already passed.
These are pre-cooked meals. They're just warmed up. And therefore, that warming up is not sufficient to kill all of the Listeria.
The problematic pasta comes from California-based Nate's Fine Foods, which recalled more than 200,000 pounds of it in September. Symptoms of Listeria usually start 1 to 4 weeks after eating contaminated food, but can start as early as the same day or as late as 10 weeks. They include fever, muscle aches, diarrhea, stiff neck, and even seizures. So far, 6 people have died and 27 people have gotten sick in 18 states since the outbreak began last August. Infectious disease expert Dr. William Schaffner says Listeria can be effectively treated if diagnosed early.
But some people have gotten more seriously ill because the bacteria has gotten out of the intestine and into the bloodstream.
Listeria is especially harmful to pregnant women and seniors. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, it is almost 5:14 here in the studio, but if we take a look at our downtown Montgomery cam, we can see we've got some beautiful skies out there. That sun is setting and we can see that moon peeking through up there at the top. Doesn't it look beautiful, Laura?
It's absolutely stunning, Ty, and you know when the moon is starting to show a little bit earlier, those fall temperatures are also coming. Simon Brown will have your full forecast after the break.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
It takes more than ambition to make a difference. It takes something real. It takes real work, breakthroughs and push-throughs. It takes real vision that shapes leaders and real support that empowers you in all ways to spark change, to build legacies, to make a real difference. Troy University. Always real, always Troy.
Now, your weather on Troy Trojan Vision News.
Hello and welcome back to your Troy Trojan Vision News. If we take a look at our quad cam, you can see the lights are on and the fountain. That soaping over the weekend didn't stop it from being turned on today. But if we take a look at our current conditions, it is 65 degrees. It is clear. We have had no rain today. The humidity is at 38%. The UV index is at 1, and the winds are blowing north at 6 miles per hour. Now, our daily weather almanac tells us that the record high was 87 degrees all the way back in 1935, and the record low was only 22 degrees in 1954. And again, no rain. Now, around the state, Huntsville is at 60 degrees, Birmingham at 62, Montgomery and Troy both at 66, Dothan at 70, and Mobile at 67 degrees. Now, across the country, we can see temperatures out in the west ranging in the low 60s to the upper 70s. And if we take a look towards the center of the country, we can see temperatures in the high 50s and in the low and mid 50s as well. Now, looking at the state of Alabama, we have had no rain today, and that trend is going to be continuing tomorrow, into tonight. You can see some showers will be around the northern part of the state, but in Troy, we will be fine here. But tomorrow, we will see a day like today, no rain. Now, tonight, it is going to be 57 degrees, partly cloudy, no rain, and the winds are going to be blowing at 8 miles per hour. So, perfect weather to throw on the comforter tonight when you're heading to bed. Now, Tuesday, tomorrow, it is going to be 73 degrees. It is going to be sunny, no rain, and winds blowing at 6 miles per hour. Now, if we look at our 7-day forecast, we can see on Wednesday, it is going to be 76 degrees with a low of 56. Thursday is going to look more the same at a nice 81 degrees with a low of 58. Friday is going to be there's going to be some showers on Friday. It is going to be 81 degrees with a low of 57. Saturday is going to look a lot like Friday, so luckily there's not going to be a home game at the Vet for Saturday. High of 75, low of 51. And Sunday and Monday are going to be sunny at 75 degrees and 60 degrees with a low of 44 degrees. Now that has been your Troy Trojan Vision weather. Now back to the news desk.
Thank you, Simon. Coming up on Troy Trojan Vision News, a sneak peek of a new character balloon headlining a holiday tradition. And tonight's, take a look at this.
And Troy basketball is back. Sports anchor Hunter Boozer has the previews coming up in sports.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
It's time the world started listening again.
Because when we open our ears,
it opens our eyes,
our minds,
and our hearts.
So let's listen.
So that we may see the world
fully.
NPR Morning Edition.
On Troy Public Radio.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy Trojan Vision News.
Welcome to Trojan Vision Sports. I'm Hunter Boozer. Saturday, Troy football faced off against Arkansas State. Here's the action. To Arkansas State, 23-10. The Red Wolves defense limited the Trojans to only 187 yards of offense. Troy head coach Jared Parker said that Troy could have been more prepared heading into the matchup.
Our football team wasn't ready to play to start that football game. I am proud of our defense and how they finished the game. Offensively, we just got consumed. We couldn't get anything going. I'll stand in front, take responsibility for where we were tonight, and then challenge our football team to have the proper response and resiliency it's going to take to finish this season the way we expect it.
While Troy's offense couldn't get much going, the defense earned 2 turnovers, a muffed punt that led to a field goal and a fumble in the fourth. However, mistakes made by the Trojans gave Arkansas State opportunities to force their way.
There's not a lot you can say. We could try to sugarcoat it and say, we did what we could, blah, 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 but at the end of the day, you just got to put your head down, go to work, get ready for the next one.
Troy falls to third in the Sun Belt West, but is still in contention for a bid to the conference championship. The Trojans go into a bye week before playing Old Dominion on the road in their lone midweek matchup of the season on the 13th. Moving to the court, Troy women's basketball is set to begin their 2025-2026 season in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge against Toledo. Looking live to the court now as the Trojans prepare, they're coming off a 24-14 season where they finished third in the Sun Belt and made it all the way to the WNIT tournament, falling to Buffalo in that match. As for the Rockets, they finished last year 24-9, finishing runner-up in the MAC and making it to the WBIT, losing to the eventual tournament winner, Minnesota, in the first round. These two teams faced off last year in the semifinals of the Cherokee Invitational, where Toledo took the win 70-62. The game starts at 6 in Trojan Arena and will be streaming live on ESPN Plus if you can't make it. While Toledo is coming down to Troy from Ohio, Troy men's basketball is going up to Ohio to play Kent State as part of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge. The Trojans are coming off a 23-11 season. They tied for the Sun Belt regular season championship and won the Sun Belt tournament. That punched Troy's ticket to the NCAA tournament, where they fell in the first round to Kentucky. As for the Golden Flashes, they finished last season 24-12 and third in the MAC, losing to Miami, Ohio in the semifinals of the MAC tournament. Kent State would make the NIT, losing in the quarterfinals to Loyola Chicago. This is the first of 9 road games against non-Sun Belt teams for the Trojans. Head coach Scott Cross spoke on how much the travel will prepare Troy leading into the Sun Belt section of the season.
We're looking forward to it. We'll experience some adversity. You know, that's the big thing with this team is, you know, how are we going to respond to adversity? It's going to come at some point during the season. Might as well happen in non-conference. Prepare yourself for conference. And that's, in reality, that's what it's all about, preparing to win a conference championship.
The Trojans and Golden Flashes face off at 6. The game will stream live on ESPN+. Well, guys, over the weekend, interim athletic director Kyle George became the permanent athletic director. And I don't think there's anything better than 2 wins today.
Well, you know, Hunter, basketball is my favorite sport to watch, so I'm also looking forward to watching some future games for our Troy Trojans.
Absolutely. It is a much-deserved position for him. Thank you, Hunter. Now, staying in the sports realm, tonight marks the beginning of the Trojan basketball season, and excitement is building.
Recently, basketball head coach Scott Cross stopped by TrojanVision to talk about his team and their upcoming games. Maddie Bagdonas has more in tonight's Trojan Talk.
I'm Maddie Bagdonas, and welcome to today's edition of Trojan Talk. I'm here with head coach Scott Cross. Scott, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, yeah, and so just want to talk to you about this new upcoming team. Tell me about what we can expect this season from this basketball team.
Yeah, it's a very skilled basketball team. Last year we were a little bit longer, taller, athletic. This year we're more skilled. We can pass it better, shoot it better. I would expect a lot of three-pointers. We're trying to get our level of defense to the same level we had last year. I think that's the biggest challenge. If we can replicate that, then I feel really good about our chances of winning a championship.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about the chemistry of the team between the players, the new ones, and the returning ones.
Yeah, probably the best team chemistry that I've been a part of. This is a really, really fun team to coach. Every day when I leave Trojan Arena, I'm in a good mood because these guys work so hard every single day to become better basketball players. They really enjoy each other's company. After practice, they're typically hanging around, cutting up. You know, it's just you can tell that they have a great vibe amongst each other, and I think you'll see a lot of assists because of that, because we'll share the basketball and nobody's going to be selfish or a me guy. They're going to be we guys, and so very, very fun team to coach.
Yeah, we've heard a little bit about the connection of the team between the players. So talk about some of those returning players with Theo, JB, and even Thomas. Tell me a little bit about how they're going to step into that leadership role this year.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas was the one guy that started the majority of the games last year. He got first team, well, he got all tournament team in the Sun Belt tournament. One of the best returning players in the league by far. Him and Theo kind of split minutes last year at the power forward. We are going to play Theo some at the 5 this year, which is the center position. So they'll have an opportunity to play together, be on the court at the same time, which I think they're excited about. They've been best friends basically since they got on campus. JB's a guy that played last year. He was our backup post behind Jackson Fields. He's really, really improved. He's gotten stronger. He's our best athlete, probably our most physical player. Definitely gives us a defensive presence, and he's a guy that just continues to get better and better. I think he'll be a great anchor for our defense.
Yeah, and tell me about this transfer class that you had come in and how they've kind of changed the dynamic of this team.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of new faces as well. I think we had the most returning guys probably in the league, but still a lot of new faces. Corbin Green's a transfer. He played a little bit at Texas Tech. Before that, he was at Air Force. He started some games as a freshman at Air Force. Very big, strong, physical post player, can really pass the basketball, kind of like a point forward, has the ability to create shots for other guys. We had a guy sitting out, Cooper Campbell's older brother, Kobe, was sitting out last year. He had hip surgery, very, very dynamic scorer, similar to Cooper, can really fill the ball up, can shoot the three as good as anybody probably in the league. So he's a lefty. Cooper's a right-handed player, so we'll have two guys at the same time that can attack the floor on different sides of the floor, can create shots for other guys. So Javen Colbert's a freshman guard that we brought in. He'll back up Cooper Campbell. May have an opportunity to start some games, but very, very dynamic scorer. Led the state of Texas in scoring this past season. He continues to get better. Emmanuel Clarton's a freshman that from Sumter Central. One of our best defenders already is a freshman, which usually doesn't happen. So he's stepped up and really improved. I'm sure there's guys that I'm leaving out, but we have great team chemistry between the returners and the new guys. There's definitely a synergy there that very few teams have this early in the season.
Thank you so much, Coach, for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us on this edition of Trojan Talk.
Eyes will be on the skies when the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Parade comes to town. Some new beloved high-flying characters will be front and center.
Jeremy Roth gives us a sneak peek on who's headlining in today's Take a Look at This.
Everyone have a good Halloween? Great! Moving on! Thanksgiving is up next, so no time like the present to start all that holiday hoopla and hullabaloo. What can I say? Americans love a good holiday, and we have such short attention spans we can't even finish, "Hey, cool, Buzz Lightyear!" What was I saying? Oh, right. Macy's lifted the veil on their annual Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon lineup to give a first look at some brand new balloons that will be flying high over one of the Big Apple's biggest celebrations. WCBS reports the preview went down, or should I say up, at the annual Balloon Fest event in New Jersey. Volunteer handlers did a test float of kooky new characters including Mario, Shrek, Buzz Lightyear, and Pac-Man. Speaking of characters, The Ohio State University got right to the point, breaking a pointy hat world record of sorts, and they did it all for their beloved mascot, Brutus Buckeye. For Brutus's birthday, nearly 2,000 people met in a university gym to attempt a world record for the largest gathering of people wearing conical party hats. Oh, it's a record, all right. And according to the Guinness judges that were on hand, it's now OSU's record. The gathered 1,924 hat-wearing students, faculty, and supporters were more than enough to break the previous record held since 2019. Finally, this last one may not be a record, but I'm going to go on the record and say this crazy double lotto winning story is one of the weirdest you may have heard. According to the Ohio Lottery, a Roseville man that had already won $50 on a best-of-7 scratch-off forgot his winning ticket at home when he went to cash it in, so just for kicks, he decided to buy another best-of-7 ticket and ended up winning $500,000 on the spot. 7 is certainly one lucky number for this charmed player, who's now $500,000 plus $50 richer. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Just about out of time, but before we go, Hunter, what are we looking at in the world of sports?
Well, we got a lot of action this week. Men's basketball has Kent State today, and then Furman on Friday. And then women's basketball has Toledo today. And then on Thursday, they'll play Mississippi Valley State. And then volleyball will be playing at home on Thursday and Friday.
Wow, a lot of exciting matchups coming up. Thanks, Hunter.
And Simon, we're having a pretty cold week this week. Will you remind me what those temperatures are going to be looking like tomorrow?
Absolutely. If we take a look at tomorrow's planner, you can see that when we first look up tomorrow at 8, it is going to be 51 degrees, sunny with a 1% chance of rain. Moving on into the afternoon at 12, no chance of rain. It is going to be 70 degrees and sunny. And at around 4 p.m. this time tomorrow, it is going to be sunny at 71 degrees with a 1% chance of rain. So no need for an umbrella, no need for a raincoat tomorrow, Laura.
Thank you, Simon. And that's all the time we have for Troy Trojan Vision News. Thank you for joining us.
Tune in again tomorrow night for more news, sports, and weather. Until then, have a great night.